Lesson 1. Value your health early. When we're young, we believe our bodies are invincible. We stay up late, skip meals, push through stress, and tell ourselves we'll fix it later. But here's the truth: the habits you build in your 20s and 30 seconds will follow you into your 50s and 60s. I once knew a man who worked 14-hour days, chasing money and success. He thought he could always take care of his health once he had more time. By the time he slowed down, his body had already given up. Good health is the foundation for every other part of life. Without it, money, relationships, and dreams lose their meaning. Eat well, move your body, rest when you need to. Value your health early, because it's the one thing you can't buy back once it's gone. Lesson 2. Money is a tool, not the goal. We all need money to survive, to feel secure, to give our families comfort. But money is not the final destination. It's a tool to build the life you want. I remember a story about a woman who built an empire. She owned multiple businesses, houses, cars. But in the end, she died alone. She was so focused on earning that she never made time for connection. Her wealth became walls instead of bridges. Money should serve you, not enslave you. Use it to buy time with your loved ones, to create memories, to invest in experiences that matter. The richest life isn't always the one with the biggest bank account. It's the one that feels full, even when your pockets are not. Lesson 3. Forgive sooner. Regret often hides in the shadow of unforgiveness. I once met a father who hadn't spoken to his son in over 10 years. They had argued over something small, something they both barely remembered, but pride kept them apart. When the father finally wanted to reconcile, it was too late. Holding on to grudges only weighs us down. Forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself from carrying that anger. Life is too short to let resentment steal our peace. If there's someone in your life you need to forgive, don't wait for the perfect moment. That moment may never come. Choose peace now, while you still can. Lesson 4. Time is more valuable than things. We spend so much of our lives chasing things: new clothes, new gadgets, new cars. But no matter how much we collect, the one thing we can never add more of is time. I once asked an elderly woman what she regretted most. She didn't mention money or the things she didn't own. She said, "I wish I had spent more afternoons with my children while they were still little." Time is the only currency that never comes back once it's spent. Use it wisely. Don't trade your best years for things that will gather dust. Invest your time in people, in experiences, and in memories that will live longer than anything you could buy. Lesson 5. Listen more, speak less. In conversations, most of us listen to reply, not to understand. We're quick to defend, quick to prove, quick to share our own story. But when we slow down and truly listen, something magical happens. People feel seen, valued, and loved. I once witnessed a man who barely said a word during a family gathering. Instead, he let others speak, nodding gently, asking thoughtful questions. By the end of the night, everyone said he was the kindest person in the room, not because of what he said, but because of how deeply he listened. Listening is a gift. When you listen more than you speak, you strengthen bonds, reduce conflict, and open your heart to wisdom that might otherwise be missed. Lesson 6. Don't compare your journey. Comparison is a thief of joy. In the age of social media, It's easy to look at others and feel behind. We see their vacations, their houses, their milestones, and suddenly our own lives feel small. But life isn't a race. Everyone has their own timeline. Some people find success at 20, others at 60. Some fall in love once, others many times. Some bloom early, others bloom late. Imagine a flower comparing itself to another flower. It makes no sense. Each blooms in its own season. So should you. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's clock. Run your own race.
Lesson 7. Family is priceless. We often take family for granted until it's too late. We assume they'll always be there, waiting for us to make time. But life doesn't promise us endless tomorrows. I once knew a man who missed nearly every holiday dinner because of work. He told himself he was providing for his family. But when his children grew up, they remembered not the money, but the empty seat at the table. Family is priceless. Whether it's blood or chosen family, cherish them. Because when the years pass, you won't remember the meetings you attended or the overtime you worked. You'll remember the laughter at the dinner table, the hugs, and the love. Lesson 8. Friendships need nurturing. As we get older, friendships can fade, not because of anger, but because of neglect. We get busy, distracted, and tell ourselves we'll call tomorrow. But too many tomorrows can turn into years of silence. I remember reconnecting with a childhood friend after decades apart. We laughed as if no time had passed, but deep down, we both knew how many moments we had missed. Friendships are gardens. If you don't water them, they wither. Call your friends, show up, celebrate their joys, and sit with them in their sorrows. These relationships are among the richest treasures you'll ever own. Lesson 9. Patience brings clarity. We live in a world of urgency. We want quick answers, instant success, immediate change. But rushing often blinds us. Some truths only reveal themselves with time. I once met a woman who was desperate to marry. She rushed into a relationship that looked perfect on the surface, but within a year, it crumbled. Looking back, she said, "If only I had been patient, I would have seen the signs." Patience is not weakness, it's wisdom. It gives you the ability to see situations clearly, to make choices not from panic, but from peace. Sometimes, waiting is the most powerful action you can take. Lesson 10. Love yourself first. For years, I believed self-love was selfish. I thought putting others first made me a better person. But the truth is, when you neglect yourself, you run empty. I knew a caregiver who gave everything to her family, day after day. She never rested, never asked for help. Eventually, her body gave out. She learned too late that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Loving yourself isn't about vanity. It's about survival. Rest when you need to. Say no when you must. Care for your body, mind, and soul. Because when you love yourself, you become strong enough to love others fully. Lesson 11. The power of gratitude. Gratitude doesn't change what you have. It changes how you see it. I've met people with little money who were happier than millionaires, simply because they appreciated every sunrise, every meal, every smile. We often chase what we don't have and forget the beauty of what's already in our hands. Gratitude turns an ordinary day into a blessing. The more you count your blessings, the richer you become, without spending a cent. Lesson 12. Let go of the fear of failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every mistake teaches us something we couldn't learn otherwise. I once heard of an inventor who tried hundreds of times before his idea worked. When asked why he didn't give up, he said, "I didn't fail 99 times. I discovered 99 ways that didn't work." Fear of failure keeps us from living fully. Don't let it stop you from starting the business, writing the book, or saying how you really feel. The only true failure is never trying. Dive Lesson 13. Seek purpose, not approval. We waste so much time chasing other people's approval. We dress, speak, and even live in ways we think will impress them. But approval fades. Purpose lasts. I once knew a woman who chose her career because it made her parents proud. She was successful on paper, but empty inside. When she finally followed her true calling, she said it was the first time she felt alive. Live with purpose, not performance. When you align with what gives you meaning, you'll no longer need applause. Your life itself will be the reward. Lesson 14. Keep learning. Stay curious. The mind is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. I once met a man in his 70s learning a new language. When asked why, he smiled and said, "Why not? The day I stop learning is the day I stop living." Curiosity keeps us young. Read new books, ask new questions, try new skills. When you stay curious, you don't just add years to your life. You add life to your years. Lesson 15. Patience with people is love. We often expect others to grow and change overnight, forgetting how long it takes us to learn our own lessons. Real love is patient. It gives people room to stumble, to fail, and to try again. I once saw a couple married for 50 years. Their secret? They gave each other patience. They didn't demand perfection. They allowed each other to be human. Be patient with the people you love. Forgive their flaws. Encourage their growth. And remember, patience is often the purest form of love. Lesson 16. Simplicity brings peace. Life becomes heavy when we complicate it with too much. Too many possessions, too many obligations, too many worries. A man once told me that when he downsized his home and simplified his lifestyle, he felt lighter than ever before. He realized he never needed half the things he owned. Peace doesn't come from having more. It comes from needing less. Simplify, and you'll find freedom. Lesson 17. Kindness is never wasted. Small acts of kindness can echo for years. A smile, a kind word, a listening ear. They may seem simple, but they can change someone's entire day, even their life. I once heard a man say a stranger's kindness stopped him from ending his life that very night. The stranger never knew, but that simple act saved him. Never underestimate the power of kindness. You may forget the moment, but the other person may remember it forever. Lesson 18. Let go of what you can't control. So much of our suffering comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. We can't control the weather, the past, or other people's choices, but we can control our response. A wise saying goes, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." When you release the illusion of control, you gain peace. Worry less about what you can't change, and focus more on what you can. In Lesson 19, keep hope alive. Hope is what keeps us moving forward when everything else feels broken. Without hope, people give up. With it, they can survive the impossible. I once met a woman battling illness who said, "Hope is my medicine." She believed tomorrow could be better, and that belief carried her through. Whatever storm you face, hold on to hope. Even the darkest nights eventually give way to morning. Juk Lesson 20. Cherish every season of life. Life is a collection of seasons: childhood, youth, middle age, old age. Each has its joys and struggles. Too often, we rush through one season wishing for the next. But every season carries beauty. Youth gives energy. Middle age gives perspective. Old age gives wisdom. When we embrace the present season, we live fully instead of longing for what was or what might be. Cherish every stage of your journey, for one day you'll look back and realize each moment was a gift. These 20 lessons are not just words. They are reminders carved out of life's joys and sorrows. If even one of them spoke to your heart today, carry it with you and share it with someone who needs it. Which of these lessons resonated with you most? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your wisdom may be the one thing another soul needs today. This is Aging with Wisdom, where every story makes us a little wiser. Until next time, take care of yourself and cherish the season you're in.